my competition if you want to see me oiled up and bodybuilding trunks.
Bro is very much concerned with how many people are going to attend his competition, but what he should be worried about is how many people are going to be going to his funeral. Coach Greg, in today's video, we're going over the biggest 20-year-old bodybuilder in the world's cycle that he just laid out on YouTube. Albertus Krinicus, he's been competing for about a year. He's done 2 competitions. In his first competition, he was just a little bit too big for classic physique, and so he had to literally starve himself to make himself get into the weight class. At that time, I wrote, why don't you just take less steroids? Less steroids equal less growth, and you can compete healthy, get an IFBB Pro card in classic physique, and compete against guys like Sam Sulek. But no, why would a 20-year-old ever want to listen to Coach Greg? And so instead of that, let's just up the doses. Let's go on bigger cycles than last time and put on so much muscle that we're taking perhaps 20 or more years off of our lives. Who wants to live when you can have bigger biceps than last time?
And actually, I decided to do Q&A, and I asked him questions on Instagram.
He's fresh out of bed. He's basically sitting in his bed, and you can hear it in his voice. His breathing is laboring. He's tired. And when you're breathing harder than last time, what exactly is the reason for that? Well, your muscles require oxygen. And so which muscle do you think is tired right now? I mean, is he doing a bunch of squats, bench presses, and deadlifts? No. He's literally just sitting there and talking. And as he's talking, his heart, the muscle, the most important one of the human body, it's already fatigued, which is making him to breathe this hard. For him, talking is zone 2 cardio. For Coach Greg, zone 2 is riding at a comfortable pace for 100 kilometers. For him, it's talking. And he's 20. Already, his heart is unable to keep up with the demands of his body. I mean, if it was, he wouldn't be laboring in his speech. What 20-year-old should sound this much out of shape? You would think he was 350 pounds of fat, that he was morbidly obese and out of shape. But he's a 20-year-old athlete, and already it's looking bad. And so when you use steroids, it's bad for not only your liver, but also your kidneys. This can dramatically worsen the effects on your heart and require to breathe even harder than last time.
Currently, it's Sunday, and my weight has been 281 pounds, 127 kg, fasted.
281 pounds. He's 5'9". That means he's morbidly obese. Now, his body fat percentage is low, but because of his weight, the heart, it doesn't care. He has so much muscle that the heart is having to work overtime.
So I'm really growing. I'm becoming mass monster. So I think if I would reach 130 kilos, it's 286 pounds, I could be called as mass monster for my height. I'm 5'9", 176.
He's 281, but to be a mass monster, he needs to be 286 because that 5 pounds is such a big difference. I mean, if he were to only gain 4, not a mass monster. Gains 5, oh, now you're big.
Old school method, and I'm very sweating right now because I hold a lot of water weight, so yeah. So as you know, guys, this thing helps me cool down.
And so he has to sit there with a fan. Like all day long. Like Coach Greg, I walk around with a fan, but that's because I'm going in a hot environment. Perhaps I'm on vacation. I'm in a very hot day. It's 30 degrees, 90, whatever, or I'm doing cardio. I remember a person back in the day that had to walk around with a fan. He was labored in his breathing. He had a difficult time moving on. His name is Greg Kovacs. Do you know this man? Former bodybuilder, competitive from Canada. He's no longer with us. Why do you think that is? He was too big. Abusing steroids, abusing growth hormone, and that is the net result. Already, my opinion, and remember, I'm not a doctor, is that he needs a beta blocker at only age 20. Now, he could, for example, be prescribed Nebivolol, could pick that up at AlgoRx. He could click the link in the description, use code Greg, get a discount. As AlgoRx, they not only check out your blood work, they have doctors that prescribe you needed medications. What exactly do you need? What he needs, in my opinion, is to cycle off. Perhaps he could go on clomiphene. Perhaps he could stop abusing his body to this extent. And in the future, perhaps he could abuse steroids. But why do so young? He's 20. He hasn't nearly reached his natural genetic potential, and so why would he have used steroids so young?
Yeah, so as you know guys, this thing helps me cool down. I don't have an IC, I'm not that rich.
I mean, he can't even complete a sentence. He's like a moving walrus here. He's pivoting around, falling down, fall back. He doesn't even have control of his limbs. He states that he's poor. He doesn't have a lot of money. How is he affording all the growth hormone, the steroids, and so on if he has no money? Last I checked, steroids are not cheap, in particular, growth hormone. Growth hormone costs more than everything. And so when he says he has no money, I personally don't believe it. Perhaps at 281 pounds, he's doing okay. I personally don't think so. But as he continues to put on more weight, how long do you think before he's 300 pounds? 350 pounds. The more weight he puts on, the harder it's going to be on his heart. And whatever areas of the body cannot receive proper blood flow, they're eventually going to die off. Will it be in his brain, his stomach? Who knows?
Please come to my competition if you want to see me oiled up and with bodybuilding trunks, with blue ones or maybe red ones or pink. Alright, so
Bro is very much concerned with how many people are going to attend his competition, but what he should be worried about is how many people are going to be going to his funeral.
because you know that Las Vegas nights, brother, after that competition, you know what's gonna happen, you know, that's all the strips, Las Vegas Strip.
And so he's more worried about what he's going to be doing after the competition in Las Vegas, going to strip bars, down the strip, whatever, than his health. I mean, he's got whatever amount of months to prepare for this competition, and already his brain is going to, after the competition, what he's going to do. Bro, you need to live for now because you don't have many years left.
I don't remember, there will be FIBO in Germany, Cologne, so I will be at Expo and also record a vlog video for you guys, how I'm living in Germany, how I'm meeting German baddies, so please stay on this channel and subscribe.
Seeing as he likes to fly around, he's going for the German baddies, he can't wait to meet up with his fans. Since you like getting on planes so much, you need to be on some blood thinners. We don't want you to get a pulmonary embolism. That's because bro is 281 pounds, he's out of breath, he's on performance-enhancing drugs, he's not cleared to fly. This is dangerous. And so the reason for this is because he's hypercoagulable. He's not the average bro. He has more dangers of forming a clot.
My inspiration is my dad. My dad was a bodybuilder back in Arnold era, 1972.
Admirable. He was inspired by his dad, who competed perhaps 50 plus years ago, but he did appear to have a natural physique. And so why not follow in your father's footsteps? Compete natural. Compete in classic physique. This is, in my opinion, the way that it should have gone. You could have stayed natural. You could have continued to get bigger, gotten better, competed in classic physique, gotten your IFBB Pro card, and avoided using the growth hormone, the insulin, the higher doses of performance-enhancing drugs, and had a long and healthy life. But instead, you looked up to your true idol, Nick Walker. I mean, if you want to look like Nick Walker, there's no harm in wanting to. The problem is, the harm is in doing it. If you want to look like that, and you train, and you look at his photos, it's cool. But when you actually become that, your life expectancy, it goes down.
My favorite bodybuilder, I would say, is Nick Walker and Dallas McCarver.
Dallas McCarver's not alive anymore. Their favorite bodybuilders, between Nick Walker and Dallas McCarver, you're choosing 50% of them are not even alive anymore? He was in his 20s. This could and may in fact be you.
But please consider, guys, don't do this. Please don't copy my cycle, it's very bad. Because everyone's body is different and you will react to some compounds not the same and you can get like side effects.
And so notice all the warnings, all the don't do this, all the this is stupid, this is bad, but he can't take his own advice. And so that is the problem with bodybuilders. Don't do as I do, do as I say. He's telling all his fans who he's willing to coach and he can tell you how to get big, don't take the steroids that I'm taking. But yet you're looking the way that other people want to look. They want to put on the muscle. They want to put on the size. They're not going to hire you and say, hey, could you please explain to me how to put on muscle natural? He's 20 years old. He doesn't know how to put muscle on natural. He only knows how to put on muscle by doing steroids. He's 20, doesn't have the life experience to coach anyone. And if you think you can just learn from this guy to copy him, well, you could perhaps copy from him. Well, you could perhaps learn how to ruin your health, but what else is he going to tell you? You know, I don't want to be overly insulting here, but what do you think a 20-year-old kid that doesn't give a shit about living, that he's already out of breath, what could he possibly teach you?
I'm doing 500 tests right now, a weekly, 500 mast week.
500 milligrams of test and 500 milligrams of Mastron. Honestly, this is an intermediate cycle. It's not ridiculously high. It's certainly not a beginner cycle, but it's not mind-blowing as in, oh my goodness, I can't believe he's taking so much. Many people are using this amount of steroids, and most people with as much muscles as him are actually taking more. But does that mean it's okay? If somebody were to say, hey, I'm sniffing creatine. Oh, well, that's good. Way to go, because at least you're not injecting crack. I mean, think of it. Does that make sense? And so just because it's not the worst cycle in the world doesn't mean that it's at all okay.
Then every day 8 units of growth hormone. Yeah, that's why my nose grew so much.
8 IUs of growth hormone. 8. I mean, like, where is he deciding to do all this? 8 units of growth hormone. I didn't take growth hormone until I was close to my mid-30s. Bro's 20. The 8 units of GH is worse than the entirety of the steroids combined. It is ridiculous. It's astronomically high. He needs to cut this out. After hearing what he's taking, most likely the reason he's out of breath is because of the growth hormone. More so than the testosterone, the Mastron, the growth hormone, it's ridiculous. Now, how safe do you think growth hormone is? Well, let's consider this. I'm 50 and I'm going to be 100% honest. If I thought that taking growth hormone was safe, I would be on it right now. Think of it. I have millions of dollars. It wouldn't even make a dent. I can afford any supplement that I would like, but yet I'm still not taking it. I value my health, and I also like to have big muscles. I like to race faster on the bike. I like lifting heavy weights in the gym. And so if I'm not taking it, and I'm 50 years old, been coaching athletes for over 30 years, thousands of athletes, then don't you think there's a reason for that? Like, really think about it. If I'm not taking a specific supplement, is there maybe a reason for that? Because I want to get the gains. And so if I'm not doing this, then why is he? And 8 units at 20 is stupid. Listen, what you do is you take the lowest dose that makes you happy. Why isn't he taking 3 units? Maximum 5. Oh my goodness. Does he really need 8? If he needs 8 units of growth hormone at the age of 20 to put on muscle, how many is he going to take at 25? 40 units? I mean, where does it end? And so he didn't need this much. Bro competed about 75 pounds lighter than he is right now. And so did he really need to put on 75 pounds in a matter of months, or could he have not stretched out those gains? He should have listened to Coach Greg. He should have stayed in classic physique, turned professional, and then he could have added on 10 more pounds of muscle on minimal doses. Perhaps just HRT. Who knows? He may have the best genetics in the world. We don't know how much muscle he can put on. And so he continues to train natural, at least on the lowest dose that makes him happy, until he's older. And then when he can no longer put any more muscle, then he introduces the growth hormone. You don't add all these compounds when you do not need them. Plus, bro said he was poor. 8 units of growth hormone a day? This is ridiculous.
Then insulin, 8 units pre-workout, 15 units post-workout.
The 8 units of growth hormone, he already says his nose has gotten bigger. Imagine what his nose is going to look like when he gets older. It's already gotten bigger now. You're 20. The nose continues to grow as you get older. Add to that the insulin. He's taken 8 units before going to the gym, probably trying to shuttle in more nutrients, going to combine that with some sugars, probably have an intra-workout drink. And he's getting a bigger pump, more nutrient delivered, bigger muscles, and more insulin aster. But eventually he's going to have full-blown diabetes, but he kind of has it right now. Think of it. And so he's injecting growth hormone, causing his blood sugars to add like a diabetic, and then he has to inject insulin to counteract. He almost needs this. It's very difficult to take that much growth hormone without any insulin whatsoever. And so, You should be stopping both. Think of it. Why do you need growth hormone and insulin at 20? It makes no sense.
And Lantus insulin, it's long-acting insulin, 25 units every day. Then I'm doing peptides.
Also, not just a short-acting insulin. Let's add some longer-acting insulin. We need all the insulin in the world.
BPC capsules for my digestion. And then BPC 157, 500 mcg a day, just peptides. And then MOTC 1 mg. And then T4 75 mg for my thyroid. So yeah, that's my cycle currently.
Add to this, he's taking a bunch of peptides as well as T4. Does bro have Hashimoto's? Like, why is he taking these drugs? Why does he need them? He's 20. You shouldn't need all of this shit. If he had said, I'm on 500 milligrams of test and I'm stacking that with some Turk Builder Max as well as some GO2 Max, well, that would make sense. I mean, not the test part, but the rest. That's all bro needs. He should be competing in classic physique. He shouldn't be abusing steroids. He's an idiot. He's a moron. You're thinking, oh, but it's not that deep. It's not that big a deal. He's being monitored by a doctor. There's no doctor that would approve this, that would okay this, that would say this is not bad. Any doctor that would say that, their license should be revoked. This is redonkulous. Is it possible he has an ischemic gut? Why is he on BPC 157 for his digestion? Bro is 20. Are we already unable to process foods? You're 20. I mean, it's only going to get worse. As bad as your digestion is right now, continuously, it will get worse.
When I was in prep, I did classic physique. I was only taking 300 test, 300 Primo and 4 units GH. And also some fat burners.
And so remember in that last competition where he couldn't make weight because he was too big? He was taking 300 tests, 300 Primo, and 4 units of growth hormone. And I was thinking, why don't you just cut your cycle in half? And so why didn't he just cut his cycle in half? I mean, how stupid is he? If you have too much muscle, and steroids we know builds muscle, why not take less steroids? Hence, less muscle will be built. Then you make the weight class, you then turn pro, the weight class goes up 10 pounds, and then you can take a little bit more. Does he really look like he needed to up the cycle? Why would you take more? The lowest dose that makes you happy. Bro clearly is a hyper responder. Little bit of gear goes a long way. And so why use a lot of gear when a little is all that you need?
In my opinion, if you already have finances, if you have a good plan what you want to do in the future and you're just willing to give everything you have, it's better to start younger.
No, it's not better to start younger. You have your whole life ahead of you. It is never better to start younger. Oh, you need to start at 16, 17, 18, 19. This is redonkulous. You wait until you reach your natural genetic limit first. Once you're an adult, you decide you love the sport so much that you're willing to trade 20 years off of your life. You become an old man like Coach Greg. In my 30s, I decided, you know what? I've been pretty good. I've been winning every natural show I can enter. I'm now going to use steroids. I'm 50 years old. Do you think he'll look like Coach Greg when he's 50? Way better genetics than me, squandered on him when he's a young teenager abusing steroids. What this sounds like is that this kid, this teenager, was groomed. At 18 years of age, he had an amazing looking physique, a pretty physique. You know what you should do? Take a lot of drugs, because then your physique will be that much more beautiful and we can watch you on stage oiled up for all of the guys around. Does that not sound like he was groomed? And so he actually thinks this is normal. It's not his fault. People around him, friends, loved ones, coaches told him, abuse steroids and you'll be a god. And he couldn't resist.
I was 18, I was natural, and my health markers were amazing. I was healthy, I'm healthy still now. Yes, I'm healthy.
Yeah, I'm healthy right now. Health markers are great. Yeah, send me your blood work. I dare you, double dog dare you. Send Coach Greg your blood work and we'll make a video on it. I'm so healthy, aside from the fact that I'm out of breath recording a video at 6:30 in the morning on my bed without exercise. How is this normal? Of all the things that I've said in this video, lower the growth hormone. You don't need it. Wait until you're older. It is going to be the death of you. Interested in getting your blood work taken? Go to AlgoRx. Get a doctor to prescribe you prescription medications at a fraction of the price of his competition. For example, Merrick Health. Don't believe me? Go and check out the prices. And once you see how much cheaper it is, you can then thank me later by using code GREG. Of course, everyone else, stay natural. Use HLT supplements, they in fact work. Do they work as well as growth hormone and steroids? Yes, way better because you don't die. If a supplement allows you to live, how is it not a better supplement? And so it's not going to build as much muscle, but you get to live. Living, it's so underrated. Overrated, underrated, all the... Living is so underrated. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, watch one of those 2 videos, click bloops. If you want to be sponsored by HLT, click the link. If you want to be coached by myself and my team, click the link, carry the supplements in your store, the link. And until next time, I'm off to ride.